Hey y'all, I'm Alexandra, a solo outdoor adventure enthusiast and photographer. Today I'm taking you backpacking in the Great Sand Dunes National Park. Night one, we're checking out the lesser traveled Sand Ramp Trail, and then we're headed into the Dunes Backcountry to sleep in the sand, the most out of this world experience I've ever had in the outdoors. After getting into the park, I headed to the visitor center to make sure my permits were in order and to take a minute to ponder on how the I was gonna lug my pack up that massive sand mountain. But that's tomorrow's problem. We are now on the Medano Pass Primitive Road. I'm just driving a mile to what they call the point of no return, which is basically where you can't go any further without like a high clearance four-wheel drive vehicle. And that will kind of be the start of my trail. Okay, we're starting off on the Sand Ramp Trail. My aim is to just take it really slow and steady. It's hot and I'm at elevation and I don't want to be exhausted. But this is the view we are working with. It's pretty freaking amazing. And we got Bear Boop. I should have worn pants. There's a lot of sharp stuff. It was hot and I didn't want to, so I'm probably about 3/4 of a mile in. Going really slow. Taking in the views. It's so incredible and it's changing with the light and with the ground I cover. Being out here, I can't describe to you like how incredibly beautiful it is. It's almost making me emotional. I just feel like so fortunate to be able to do these things, and it's kind of hitting me because the last 2 years have been really hard on me for career reasons that I won't get into here. But the reason those 2 years have been so hard is also the reason I have the time to come out here and do these things and to start making videos and to get into backpacking. And I just like feel proud of myself for making these things happen. Like when I end up in an amazing, beautiful place like this, I can't help but think like I took myself here. And I think I just wanted to like talk into this camera for a second because like being out here, I am so aware of how fleeting it is because it never lives in your memories quite as clearly as it feels in real life. Like you can never remember how it feels like to be here. But I just want to like be in this moment and like appreciate where I'm at. We'll say it's the altitude. The altitude is getting to me. It's making me emotional. I don't know. I'll stop talking. Here's my turn. This is amazing. Perfect. That ended up being 1.7 miles, including me going back and forth to film and the short hike to the tent site. So 1.7 miles, and it took me 1 hour and 32 minutes total, which was with a lot of stops. It was 1 hour and 8 minutes moving time. I think that's the slowest I've ever hiked. Sand will do that to you. Amazing site, so it's time to set up my tent so I can enjoy it. Tent, check. I don't think it's gonna rain, but it's Colorado, we're at elevation. But it'll keep me dry if it does, hopefully. This is the first time I've used the fly on this thing since I got it. So we're testing her out. Yeah, so stuff has to go in the tent, do a little more finagling. For warmer clothes, I just brought an extra pair of socks and a lightweight puffy jacket. This is a new luxury item addition that I am super excited about. It's a sport mirror backpacking chair. It's obviously not as light as like the $100 to $200 ones that you see out there from all the name brands. But for me, like, this is a full-blown game changer to like general comfort and happiness when I'm out backpacking. So I don't know, this situation where like I want to watch the stars and all of that, it's worth it. This is it. Like, this is luxury. I'm gonna take my chair and all my smellables and go watch the sunset.
Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and hummingbird wings.
It's starting to get a little dark and cold, so I'm gonna head back to camp and park my bear vaults somewhere safe from the bears.
Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, golden.
I'm just hiding in my tent from the wind, and I put these tent lights up, which is another like little luxury item. We're just waiting for the stars to come out because it's kind of still like dusky. I did just go and peek at the stars for a couple minutes, but it's cold and I'm exhausted, so it's time to tuck in for the night.
It's about 7 a.m. The first order of business is to go get my bear vault and make coffee. It is a beautiful morning. I slept decent. I feel like I never get a great sleep in a tent, but it really was not bad. It was a lot quieter than I thought it would be. Like, I didn't hear a lot of wildlife noises. It was nice and peaceful. It was windy in the evening, but then like the wind died down almost completely at night too.
Gold string, gold words, golden sing, golden. I follow only golden, 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 golden things, golden. I follow only golden. Golden, golden things.
If y'all are wondering why I'm sitting directly in front of my tent, it's because I have developed an anxiety about mountain lions that I know is not entirely justified because of how just extremely rare it is to even see one, let alone have a negative encounter with one. But I still get in my head about these things, and so I'm sitting in front of my tent because it makes me feel like my back is covered, because I know they're like sneak up on you kind of predators. And I read that a mountain lion has never attacked someone in a tent. So I think the tent would be a deterrent if I was being stalked by a mountain lion. You always want to be like aware of your surroundings. And I always just find it hard to find the line between being very aware and being hyper aware to the point that I get feeling too much fear and anxiety, and it impacts the experience I have out here. It's tough because like when you read an article or something about like what to do to stay safe from bears or mountain lions or really anything else that can happen to you out here. Like, one of the bullet points is always like, don't hike alone or don't camp alone. That advice, like when I see it on a website or something when I'm researching for a trip and it says like, don't hike alone, it is discouraging. And it does make me think like, oh shit, like, should I not be doing this? And that's not the answer, I think. Because doing things alone in the outdoors is just like so gratifying. The sun is coming up and it's time to pack up and head out. That's it. We're ready to go. So another mile, what did I say? It was 1.6 miles back to the car. All right, let's go. This morning, like, the dunes look completely different because the sun is hitting them. So there's a lot less definition on the little individual dunes, but they change so much. Like, the landscape is different hour by hour. Are coming up on the parking lot. I think it was harder on the way back, to be honest with you. This trail kind of follows, let's see if you can see it, the Medano Trail Primitive Road, which is like a 4-wheel drive, high clearance vehicle necessary off-road drive. There's campsites along it and overlooks and picnic areas. So, you know, I have to say, I wish I had the vehicle to do that because sounds cool, sounds fun. I really love the idea of off-roading, but that's probably for when I'm in a different tax bracket. I would love to, oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to say this, sounds so douchey, but like mod my Element. You know, I've seen Element owners out there with really cool like lifted Elements and like big off-road tires. I mean, I think eventually like that would be the dream. I think that would be really neat to be able to do a little more adventuring. So I have some time to kill before it's time to head back into the backcountry for night 2. So first we're off to have breakfast at the park's lovely picnic area. This is what is for breakfast this morning. I used Ova Easy eggs for the first time. They're like dehydrated eggs. They just look like powder, but they taste like eggs. I'm now doing the Zapata Falls hike, which is less than a mile round trip. Really crowded, lots of people, but it's supposed to be a beautiful waterfall. I'm heading back to the park to have an early dinner so I won't have to carry my cook kit or extra water into the dunes to reduce weight as much as possible. And now it's time to head out. I've never been this nervous for a backpacking trip. Not even my first one. Genuinely the craziest thing to look at and just say, yeah, I'm gonna climb that and sleep on it, in it. Crazy. So I started a little past 4:30.
I'm assuming it should take me about an hour and a half, if not 2 hours. So that'll give me enough daylight. I have spotted like a road less traveled by that still seems to be like a good option. I think I'm gonna give that a try. There's like footprints I see in the sand that I can follow, but there's less people than on what's kind of like the main ridge line to follow. Backpacking to the Dunes Backcountry is kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure kind of hike. You're only required to camp beyond the highest dune that's visible from the parking lot. Otherwise, there's no like designated trails, routes, or campsites, so you kind of just have to figure it out. I blessedly found some shade. The sunflowers. Life will always find a way. So I might have miscalculated, and now it looks like I need to go up this. It's very steep if you can't tell. I mean, I don't have to. There's other routes, but this one is the shortest, I think. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm going this way instead, which is less steep. This is insane. Holy shit. Now we're going down. It's fun. This has got to be the craziest place to camp. I feel like I'm on friggin' Mars. I'm using sandbags instead of stakes. This really ended up being like the perfect site, and I was kind of anxious about it when I came over the high dune because I expected to see other backpackers already set up, so I'd have some general idea of where to go. I think all of the permits were taken today. I think they give out 20 every day maximum. I didn't see anyone, and you could see pretty far into the dunes except for in these little areas, but I saw this. I mean, it's like a crater in the dunes, and it seemed a little bit too good to be true. It was clear other people had camped here because there was like burned wood. I am very impressed at whoever carried wood out here. Anyway, and I don't know if you're allowed to have fires out here, but yeah, this site, I mean, it's amazing. I just like cannot even believe like I'm here and I'm completely shielded from the wind. I think, you know, I could have picked a more scenic spot like on top of a dune, but the wind would get really bad and it would whip the sand all around and it would get in my tent worse than it's already going to get in my tent anyway. So I'm just sitting out here, just watching the light change, and I mean, it's magic. I was just watching the stars for a while, and I just climbed into the tent, and I don't have my fly on, so I can keep looking at them while I try to get sleepy. And it's been an amazing day, and I still cannot believe like where I'm camped, and I get to wake up here tomorrow. I mean, it's just incredible. So I keep saying I'm happy to be here, but I'm happy to be here.
The task now is to find a way to get up back over High Dune without climbing anything too steep. And then it's all pretty much downhill from there, which will be so fun and lovely. There really doesn't seem to be an easy way out. Like, I'm still doing a decent amount of climbing. I don't know, maybe there's an easier route that I missed, but we're getting there. Live a life you adore. We are on flat ground, but it's still sand, so we're trudging. We're trudging across this barren landscape. I don't remember it being this far to the parking lot on my way out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It would be so much appreciated. And leave a comment down below. I'd really love to hear from you. I'll be back next week with a video of my next stop on my round Colorado road trip, Mesa Verde National Park. See y'all soon!